All right. It looks like we are here. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. It is so good to be here with you today, and I am so looking forward to sharing with you all. Oh, that Mercury retrograde, I'm telling you, it always sort of kicks my butt in some way. But yeah, can you hear me? Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? I hope so. And yes, I do see that there are quite a few people. Hi, Sia. Good to see you. Hi, Mina. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Sakshi. It's so good to see you. Divyansha and Soulful. Kritika too. So we've got quite a few people who have left questions already. If you're just tuning in, again, feel free to leave some questions in the chat box and we'll get to them in the order that's here. But first I want to do just a card for the week. I think it's really important for us to like just tune in and settle and like, what does the world want from us right now? What's going to help support us to move through this week? And yes, yeah, it's fine to share your question in 3 parts. Hello. So let's see, like I don't know, it's insane right now. It's chaotic right now. And yet there's a lot of clarity and light moving through right now. I'm really curious to see what the fall will bring, but definitely August has been a time of like sort of open, allow, I don't want to say enjoy, but don't move too much energy too fast and give yourself permission to just be in the flow. So let's see what wants to come through for this next week. What as a collective can support us and allow us to come into greater connection with our highest self, maybe our purpose, a sense of peace, calm, and connection. This is an interesting one. So this is a Buddhist, I don't know if you'd call it a saint, a deity, but it's Avalokitesvara. And maybe one of you in India or Nepal would maybe know about this. But the theme for this card is see the other person's point of view. And that's a big one, right? We often forget that as locked as we think others are in their story, we're also super, and I apologize for the light and the glare. We are also super locked into our stories too, even when we think we're not. And so I think this week that's a really great message because it's an opportunity for us to settle in and for us to go, oh yeah, like what if I get out of my head? What if I get out of my agenda? It doesn't mean that I have to change my needs or my mind or my wants, but what if I can step back and hold space for the whole? I think that that's huge and definitely something that I've been working with a lot this past 6 months or year. How do we see the whole picture? And maybe still have our own goal and our own truth in mind or at the center, but also be able to open to higher capacity for others and their truth and their needs. So I think that's pretty big. I also want to pull an animal card today. I've got a couple decks of animal cards, and I think I want to work with the Maya Tolls deck. It's very simple, but very beautiful. And so collectively, what do we need to know at a whole right now? What do we need to know in this space, in this place? Chrysiocolla. It sort of looks like I don't even know what a chrysiocolla is. Are these crystals? That's why I'm like, these aren't crystals. These are crystal cards. I'm like, I don't know what kind of animal that is. Chrysiocolla is a kind of crystal. It's a beautiful sort of blue-green crystal. And the question is, what do you need? And I guess we needed a crystal card instead of an animal card today. And if you look at this, this reminds me of an Egyptian scarab almost, an energy of something that is beyond our time and space and the place of our being. The higher good, the higher energy, and the higher flow. And what do we most need and what do we most want to open up to at this time? This is our highest self, and this is our soul need, our soul truth. So again, I believe this is an opportunity for us to step out of the story, and it's an opportunity for us to come into greater understanding and greater connection with wholeness. And so what do you need? Not what do you need in a sense of like, I want this, but if you were to truly tune in, sorry, it's and my camera's fuzzy today. Mercury retrograde is kicking my butt. What happens like when you slow down and not like, I need this relationship or I need this job opportunity or I need this or I need that, but like, what is it that your soul is longing for? Is it safety? Is it love? Is it connection? Is it peace, right? Maybe it's some excitement, but tuning into that bigger place and that bigger space of what you might be needing at this time and honoring that. That card to me also really represents the universe has things in hand. So how do we open up to trusting in the universal flow and then asking help from the divine, asking the guides, asking the angels, asking our higher self to take over and giving us the support that is needed to bring us to a higher space or a new space with it. So a lot about letting go of our story and opening to the higher truth and higher understanding, either of ourselves or of others. So I encourage you to play with this week. Awesome. So great to be here. Mina, are you here? You did have the first question today, dear Mina from Pakistan. I'm going to assume you're here. Divyansha, you're next. Kritika, let me know if you're here. Soulful, let me know if you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to move through Mina's and Divyansha's next, and then Sakshi's and Jenny's, and then Sia's. So we'll just go with that flow. So Mina is looking for support for career. She's looking for support in that space of like, what does she most need to know for her career and her career path? And so I'm going to take a moment and tune in. And it's wonderful to have you here, Mina. No one's chatting in the chat box. Is there anyone here? Let me know. I just want to make sure my feed is working. Beautiful. Okay. So this is for Mina. Okay, perfect, Sakshi. Thank you. And if Mina, you join in a little bit later, we can let you know what time you're on, okay? What does Mina need to know about her career path? So the number one thing that comes for me, Mina, before I even pull a card, is creativity is really important. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be in the field of the sciences, but there is an importance in the energy for there to be a creative flow and an outlook, for you to be able to melt and shift and to do something that is a little bit more related to your heart, right? Something that has a creative aspect to it. Okay. Okay. So I pulled two cards for you. The first one is, it's something you already know you're good at, and it's something that people are admiring you for, as we've got the Three of Pentacles. And so it's like, there's something that you've either worked at a different job before, or if you've worked in a different space before. And as you've worked in that space, there has been, great, hi Divyansha. There has been recognition for you. There's been a recognition for you and a connection for you where people are like, oh my God, you're really good. And it's something that you feel proud of and something that you feel connected to and tied into. So that's really, really clear and really important for you, Mina, that it's not something like new. It can be something new that you've never worked at. Maybe it's something you've created before, but it's a place that you've been seen and honored for. If you're in a current job right now and you've been recognized, it probably means to continue to move ahead with that, but to look for a promotion. If it's something that you've never worked at before, but people are like, you're really good at, you should work with that. Trust that, open to that. And the next thing is strength in reverse. And strength in reverse, it's all about movement, and it's about like not being still. So you need to really look at, are you holding yourself back from what it is? Hi, Kritika. Holding yourself back from that movement, from that shift, and allowing yourself to move forward. So there might be some fear there. Am I good enough? Can I ask for that promotion? Can I apply for a job that's bigger for me than what I think? Yes, you are ready and you need to move forward. The time is now to move forward. Don't just wait and think, oh, it might come to me. What are you curious about? What are you interested in? And take that energy and move forward. And remember, it's something that you've been seen at before. It's something that you've been cared for before. And like people have commended you before, and then things will open up. So follow the heart, follow what makes you sing, and that you've also been seen to really excel at. And things will move forward, but you have to stand in your power and move forward there. So wonderful. I hope that made sense. And Divyansha, it's so good to see you today. And so your question was about marriage, I believe. And I think your question was about who is coming towards you in love. And then Kritika, I'll do you next. And then we'll do Jenny and Sia, unless Soulful, oh, and Sakshi, unless Soulful shows up. So Divyansha, okay, perfect. So first I want to pull one of the Ascended Masters card for you, Divyansha. I want to pull something that that just brings you, like, what do you need to know about romance, right? Like what do you, not even about romance, what does Divyansha just need to know right now? And what would feel most alive? It's great to have everybody here with us. I hope you're well. So one of my favorite cards, Mother Mary. I just love her energy. I love the vibration. I love the space, and nurture the self. So it's interesting because I thought there would be something there for you, Divyansha, about coming into a greater sense of power within yourself and a greater sense of connection with yourself. But it's not just about empowerment for you. It really is about coming into a space of nourishment, finding that gentleness, finding that love sense. I love Mother Mary. She's amazing, right? And it's again, it's not about what religion we are. It's just holding that vibration of that beautiful and pure divine love, right? And so how to bring that divine love into your heart, into your space, and give yourself the permission to soften and settle, and to be cared for, right? To be cared for in that beautiful and gentle and nourishing way. So there's a piece there for you about that. I know you've been working really hard. I know there's been a lot on your plate. So let's look about marriage, or any information for Divyansha about romance and the energy of romance coming in. Beautiful. Here we go. Hey, I'm going to stop with the first two, and then I'm going to bring some clarity in. So the first thing comes in really clear. So right now it feels like, again, there's been a heaviness. There's been a sense of, like, not heaviness, but you've been working really hard. You've got the Three of Cups in reverse. There's a lot of energy where it's like, it hasn't been that much fun. There isn't that much playfulness. There isn't that much space for you to just really enjoy and, like, feel this peace, right? Like, there's been a space of, I've had to work and I'm tired of working. I want to be cared for. I want to find love. And the first key thing to that is really stepping into your own power. And so I love that we got the nourish yourself and nurture yourself, because then we get the Queen of Wands, right? And you're a very strong, powerful, alive being. You have a lot of fire. You have a lot of creativity. This is the card, Queen of Wands, that sort of steps into my space, right? Being centered in yourself and being centered in your heart is number one. And it's key, right? It's very much key for the love and the romance that's coming into your space, right? And so, oh, and Leo, right? So Queen of Wands is fire energy. It's that fire energy of being in there. Yeah, Kritik can definitely add you to the list. You'll be after Sia. I think we have about 4 or 5 people before you. And so beautiful. And so it's really, again, first about coming into your power. And so it's like allowing yourself to come into a space of nourishment, of joy, and, like, here I am, like, feeling your radiance, feeling your power. And then from here, what might open up for you? So I'm just going to ask, next 3 months, anything about romance, marriage. Of course, marriage isn't going to happen in 3 months, but romance, anything or any clarity right now for Divyancha? Interesting. So it's going to be a little bit of time. Now, this is very interesting. So there's something you need to let go of first. And I don't know if it is the energy or the sense. Yep, Nettie, you can definitely be on the list. I think we've got about 5 or 6 before you right now. It's good to see you. So this idea, and this might have been the ex-boyfriend that we were talking about yesterday, there's still an idea or something that you're holding on to, something you're holding on to in a sense of someone else, right? Like this idea of a happy family, happy dreams, right? Like that you were looking for. And then we've got the 10 of Swords, right? And 10 of Swords is like letting go of that completely. So noticing what is it that you're holding on to? Is there an old relationship? Is there something else that you're holding on to? Something that's stuck, something that is like no longer part of your process or part of that space. This doesn't mean you're going to die. It doesn't mean there's no relationship, there for you, but it's like, what do you need to let go of so that you can open into greater readiness? And as you let go of, there's going to be a period and a time of rest. That rest is really important, that nourishment that's coming through. And then from there, we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Now, reverse doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means it's hard to see when it's going to happen and what's going to happen. But it's like once you let go of like the dream of that old relationship or that old energy, then that's going to be able to allow you to find the rest you need. And then it's going to come out of the woodwork, is going to come this happy family and this happy space. It is going to be some time, right? And I just asked about the next 3 months. So definitely the next 3 months, right? 3 to 4 months, look at this at a time of working in on yourself and putting that energy in yourself and then being able to move forward from there. Okay. So beautiful. And Dipshika, you can definitely ask a question. We've got quite a few people in front of you right now. Those of you who are just joining in, feel free to follow my page, like my page, ask a question if you like. My next question was for Kritika. Soulful, if you're here, let us know. Otherwise, I'll get to your question a little bit later. It'll be on the recording. So what does this guy, Ujwal feel for you? Is he genuine towards you? All right. And let's see. Yes, my pleasure, Divyancha. Let me just take a moment. So I'm getting the call to pull an Ascended Master card for you first, Kritika, and then we'll see if there's another card that we need to open into. Beautiful. Any messages about Ujwal for Kritika? Is it genuine? I love this card. This is crystals, and it's the energy of Epona, the horse. Yes, it's my pleasure. I love to be here, and I love to be sharing with you all. So this card is, okay, crystals. This is like, what does that mean? So this card talks to me of a soul connection or a connection on the crystalline level. I don't know how to describe it, but there is something beyond the mind in this connection, and there's something beyond the space. There's a greater knowledge and a greater sort of understanding there for you, and something that wants to be seen. My sense is, and I'm going to pull a couple cards for some clarity, but my sense is there is a clarity there, and there is a connection there, and there is a genuine there, a genuine connection and feeling there for you. Now, this doesn't mean that things are going to move really fast or there's going to be a lot flowing there, but it just speaks of the truth and the depth of the connection. Okay. So I'm just going to pull some cards here. Kritika and Ujwal. Are the feelings genuine, and what do we need to know? I'm getting the word trust and allow. So interesting. Trust and allow. And then we got a couple of the same cards that we got for Divyancha in the first one, and then let it go and rest. Don't put too much energy into it. Know that he will come towards you. There is a genuineness to it. We've got the 10 Cups in reverse. And just so you know, I switched the direction of the card. So it's interesting, the same card came up. And the 10 of Cups in reverse. So yes, there is a genuineness there. There is a fullness there. There's an energy there, but it's somewhat slow moving. And on some level, you don't trust it. There is a feeling of not trusting. There is a feeling of needing to work. There is a feeling of needing to make it happen. I encourage you not to do that. There will be messages, but things are going to be slow for a little while. We have the Page of Swords, so things seem muddled, things seem unclear. The clarity of the crystal is not showing right now, which is why I think that card was pulled, was to allow you to trust and to know that there is something bigger going on, but things feel muddled. I would say within the next few months, I know months probably seems like a long time, there is going to be movement. He's going to be ready. He's going to come towards you. But like before that, it's going to be sort of unclear and sort of back and forth. And so your job, Kritika, and your energy is to like not get too involved in your head. See if you can step back. See if you can give yourself permission to like let it go, but don't get involved in any of the games. And I don't think any of his games are going to be like bad games. Like he's not a bad boy or a bad person or a bad man, but like give it the space and time it needs. And when it's times, things will come together for you. Okay. I hope that helps and feels good and clear. I believe the next question was Jenny in Nashville. Let me just double check. Oh no, Sakshi was next. So Sakshi, so good to see you. Soulful, just let me know when you arrive and I'll make sure to answer your question. I will do it before the end of the session, I promise. So what was I going to say? So Sakshi, we're going to check in on, oh my God, I know his name and I'm forgetting it right now. Let me look. So Jamshir, okay. We're going to look in at Jamshir and Jamshir's energy. I'm just going to pull 3 of the cards for you. Hello, everybody. If you're just joining in, feel free to let me know where you're coming from. Look what you're looking for, reading, specific question. Feel free to like my page. And thank you so much. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Okay, I'm just shuffling them, clearing the energy. And then anything Sakshi needs to know about Jamshir and his intentions. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to pull these again. I'm going to move through these quite quickly, but I feel like there's going to be movement soon. Okay, there's going to be movement potentially soon for you, Sakshi. Now, this does not mean that it's going to be easy, and it does not mean that it's going to be like, I don't want to say what you want, but it's not like all of a sudden everything's going to be clear and open and the pathway is clear. But I do see some movements. You're going to get another message from him soon. There's been a feeling of being bound tight, of not being able to see and not being able to understand or to know the way. So we've got the 2 of Swords in reverse. And in this 2 of Swords in reverse, it's sort of like, okay, you can let go. Like things are going to open for you. Things are going to flow for you. And there's going to be a shift there. Clarity is going to come. The blindfold's going to be off. We have Justice in reverse. And so Justice in reverse can be a feeling of like not fair. The universe is turning things on its head and like intense, like, wait, I don't get this. Like this doesn't create balance. Now, because I know a little bit about the situation, my sense is there might be something shifting within his current situation or his relationship that's going to perhaps open things up for you or have the potential to open things up for you. Now, I'm really going to be honest. My sense of Jamshir, it's going to take a lot of work for things to really change and shift. So it's not like, oh, all of a sudden this is happening. But I think there is going to be a cracking that happens there. And that's going to open things up to hope and possibility for you, which is great. Hope and possibility, a knowing of the energy, a feeling of the flow. Seeing 5 of Cups in reverse, seeing like, oh my God, like things are possible. I'm not just focused on the unknown anymore, which feels very, very exciting and very alive. But then there might be the tendency for you to go into fantasy, right? And be thinking about all these potentials, thinking about all these things, where the number one thing really is for you to be working on yourself and like bringing yourself into space because there's a lot there to unfold. But I do see peace. There's also going to be a feeling of peace and contentment. So I'd be curious. I don't know if this is going to just happen in the next week, right? It could. A lot of things are shifting with the Mercury retrograde, but I think there's potential for change. And again, remembering that this change is going to take some time. It's not necessarily just going to be so simple and easy, but probably a messages that might give you some hope and a chance for movement. And I would say the love is very, very much there, but I do want to caution you about getting too ahead of yourself, or too in like the possibility, and where can you bring yourself back to center. So pretty powerful. And hi, Damini. Of course, you can ask a question. We've got probably about 4 or 5 people in front of you. Everybody, good to see you. Feel free to like my page if you haven't already, and let me know where you're coming from. So beautiful. And it's my pleasure, Sakshi. So next question is Jenny. And Jenny is coming to us from Nashville. And I'm going to take a moment and just sit with Jenny's question. It's beautiful to have you with us, Jenny. And I'm just going to go back to this. Would love and appreciate so much some insight on a job path best suited for me at this time in my journey. Beautiful. So as I shuffle the cards, I'm going to pull an Ascended Master cards. These cards are so simple, but so powerful. And tuning into dear Jenny and what the path is. What's the best path for a job opportunity for her? What does she need to know about this? Okay. We've got Go Now, Serapis Bay. Serapis Bay is like this ascended master that helps with like ascension. It helps with opening us beyond the flow of regular life and that flow of that space. And it's like, go now. So action. Don't hold yourself back, and give yourself that permission and that flow. Know that the universe will have you, and it's sort of like moving with you. So it is not time to stay safe. And it is not time, and I'm sorry again, like for some reason, there we go. It is not time to hold yourself back. Things are limitless. Hi, Amelia. It's good to see you. You're in line if you want. It's so good to see you. And I'm sorry for the blurry cards. I maybe have to wash my camera. Anyways, and so don't hold yourself back, Jenny. And I know one of the things that can come up for you is feeling a little bit stagnant, a little bit stuck, and like a little bit like, how do I move? Move. I think that's the number one thing, move. And so we'll see what you move towards. Okay. What does Jenny need to know around a job path, about support? I'm getting right now is let go of the fear, and let go of the thought or the idea that you are going to be stuck or caged in something that is not serving you. You will have choice, you will have flow, and the universe has your back. And I'm getting huge shivers here. Okay, huge shivers, huge awareness here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Great. And here we go. Okay, so something is going to come your way. I just want you to know that right now. I'm gonna stop it here, and then I might ask for some clarity. So this, I believe, is where you're at right now. It's the Page of Pentacles. It's like you got some bad news. I know you did get some bad news a while ago. Things don't seem to be flowing. There doesn't seem to be a flow of money or prosperity. It's sort of like life is shaking you up. Things are slowed down, and you're being forced to have to move out of your comfort zone. And it's turning you upside down, and you're getting in your head a little bit at times. You're also trusting in spirit, but can you really trust in spirit? What is it that you want to do? Where it is that you want to go? How do things want to flow? Lots of thinking, right? And so what can you do to ground into your body? And what can you do to come into that higher space of being and connection where you're letting go of overthinking it? there are new possibilities coming. I am assuming, because I'm pulling this for you and the question is around you, is there will be a path that becomes clear. It's going to be practical. It's going to come your way. It's going to feel grounded and it's going to feel safe. There's a gateway opening up for you, Ace of Pentacles. This is going to bring support and freedom to you and your family. This also, and again, it's not that you're going to get a job that's necessarily going to take care of your family right now, but it's going to be an integral space to it. And it also tells me when I see this 10 of Pentacles is that there is going to be a fullness in a space. You do not need to worry, right? There is a space of like, oh, I can move through this. I can be with this. And everything will be okay. But it's about you stepping forward on the practical path, one thing at a time, putting things together. And then we have the Judgment in reverse, right? And then it's like, oh, she just pulled these great cards and we have Judgment in reverse. And it's sort of like this idea, to me, this card here represents this energy of like, I'm rising up, I'm rising up, I'm rising up. And like, like I have to come back down to earth. And so my sense, it is something to do with the earth or something that is more grounded, right? Judgment is like you've been through death and now you're being risen up and taken up to like the heavens, right? And so in reverse, to me, it's really about in this situation, it's not about like, oh, you've been through a death and now you're not going to heaven. It's more like, what is it that's going to connect you to your body? What is it that is going to bring you deeper connection to that space? And that it's not just about connecting with the upper realms, something more practical, more connected. And so just looking out there, what is it that is I'm curious about? Letting people know you're looking for work. What is it that might come your way? And trusting in that process, because it will come. And then just don't hesitate, don't get in the mind, and move forward with it. Okay? Beautiful. Hope that helps and made some sense. Okay, we're at 2:34. Let me see who was next here. Sia is next. Hi, Sia. It's good to see you. Feel free, if you're just joining in, to follow my page. Let me know if you've got any questions. It is so wonderful to be here. Okay, and I'm going to just read Sia's question here. Okay, kind of getting overwhelming. Okay, so what kind of career path will be most suitable for you emotionally and financially? Pursuing further studies and doing 9-to-5 job or becoming an influencer YouTuber? Okay, great, beautiful. I will answer and see. Okay, beautiful. Hi, Good Life. All right. Oh, okay. And is it too late for you to switch into a medical field and feeling very exhausted? So, and also MBA. So beautiful. So for work for Sia. So I remember very much what came up last time. So I'm really getting a sense, okay, I'm getting a sense of where you're at. Okay, don't worry, the answers are coming soon. Oh my gosh. Okay, like these are great cards. So the first thing I want to say when I tune into you, there's an energy that's a little bit too much in the mind right now and too much trying to figure things out. And it's not a bad thing. We all do it. I would do it too, right? You're getting overwhelmed. And it's interesting because even with the baking, like taking the class and getting overwhelmed, it's like, oh my God, it's like, I can't, it's too much, right? Like, and what's going to support me and what's going to be great for me? And the first thing that came up is the 9 of Swords, right? Which is like, I don't feel good. And is my head cut off or is it just on my video? Like, no. It's sort of like, I don't feel good and I'm crying and I can't figure it out. Yeah, not even being able to sleep, right? Like there's so much energy there. Let go of that. It is going to become clear. I feel very clearly still. Now you could do very well in the medical field, I think, but my sense is, again, it's something to do more with your heart. So definitely the baking or the stitching, baking, even though it feels overwhelming at this time. When we look at like YouTube, between YouTube and college, the thing is with YouTube, it's like we never know if it's going to happen. So if your joy or your excitement is to do stuff on there, do it, right? Things will flow. But you can also do other things, right? Like there's other things. You could go take a course. You could, follow a different path. You could do your baking and also work on that, right? And it's like, what does your heart want? What does your heart feel? Like sing. And my thought or my idea is, or what comes through, not me, the cars. It's like we've got the 8 of wands, fast movement and fast direction. So like do what you love. So if you're enjoying the baking, but not the class, just bake. If you're like, I want to go on YouTube and see what that's like experiment, explore it. Like try not to get in the head. What feels good? Because as soon as you're in that alignment to it, things are going to just move. Things are going to shift. Things are going to move fast. Your wildest dreams can come true. You have nothing to worry about. And like the star is there to bring your wishes. It's like, where do you want your energy to flow? That's where it's going to flow. And then we have the world in reverse. World in reverse is still great. It's like wholeness. It's like connection. Like it's all there for you. So my sense is, Sia, as intense as things feel right now, and this is, I don't know if you saw the very beginning of my talk, but when I pulled the cards, it's like, try to get out of your story. And your question and your job for this week is, what is it that I really want? What do I really want? And not like, what do I want to do? But what is it that I need? What is it? Creativity? Is it excitement? Is it connection? And that will help lead you to the path that you need to take. And again, getting in the body, getting into that space. I can't remember if you were in India or Pakistan, but like self-massage, do some self-abhyanga, things like that. Like what can get you into that space of your body? And be in the question this week of what is it that I need? How can I be of highest service? And listen. And again, not to the path, but the feeling that comes, if that helps and if that makes sense. Beautiful, India. So if you're able to, I'm not sure, again, what city you're in, but like get some sesame oil or get some Ayurvedic oil and then go ahead and give yourself that permission to nourish, okay? Get that oil on your body. Okay, beautiful. Shirodara too. Shirodara might be also very, very helpful for you, dear Sia. Okay, hi Marielle, it's good to see you. I'm just gonna go through and let you know the order that we're gonna go through people right now. So we've got, and then as I do, let me know if you're still here, okay? So Dipshika is next if she's still here. Oh no, Kriti is next if you're still here, Kriti. Then Dipshika. Oh, Kriti, sorry, and then Nettie, and then Dipshika, and then Damini, and then Mila, and then Good Life, and then Marielle. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Oh, were you before Kriti? Okay. No, Kriti left her question after. She signed in before. Oh, no, you were before Kriti. You're right. So we'll do Damini next. Okay. I'm so confused. No, Kriti was actually before you. She said she was on the list. So her question came after. So you will be next, Damini, after Kriti. So Kriti, your question is about, is Anish your soulmate? And you want to know about the connection. Okay, beautiful. Yes, beautiful. You'll be coming up soon there, Nettie. Okay. So, hey, Kriti, feel free to like my page if you're new, and it's beautiful to see everybody that's here. Hey, and I'm starting, and I want to say, Kriti, we're curious about Anish. And so first question, is Anish Kriti's soulmate? Again, we're going to be using Ascended Masters cards right here. What do we need to know about their connection? Definitely soulmate on some level. I will be pulling more, but we have Jesus and the energy of opened your heart to love. So there is a strong love connection there, and there is a strong energy and flow that is there for you that feels really, really alive and very beautiful. And it's nourishing, right? There is a sweetness there and an unconditional love there, and something that is there more than just a romantic love. Now, it is a romantic love, but there is also more of a seeing perhaps of the whole perfect person and a seeing of you in a bigger way. So that feels really exciting and really, really beautiful. And then I'm just going to pull a couple more cards. Hmm. Yes, I don't. Oh, these are interesting. I'm curious about these cards. You got three major arcana. So soulmate or not, yes, soul connection for sure. Deep stuff and deep energy. And my sense is part of what's coming up for you guys in this life is that in this lifetime, you are righting old wrongs. We have justice and the moon in reverse. So justice to me is, again, something happened, I think, in a past life, in a past time, where one of you was wronged, or there are these patterns or some things in the wheel of like the cycle of like the samsara that that is wanting to be shifted and wanting to be healed. And with the moon energy in reverse too, like not being able to perhaps trust each other, or because of that, trust other people in different lifetimes or different spaces because of whatever went on. I would even say perhaps at different times, a long time ago, working in sacred capacity with each other, perhaps working in magical capacities, which I know sounds a little bit crazy, but where you like you created, how do I put it? You created a soul contract to come back in to right old wrongs, right? And I think that's part of what you're here for in this lifetime together, is that you don't have to. You're healing the old lineage. It's like time to stop looking over your shoulder. That's done. You're healing that. You're coming towards each other with pure hearts. That's where the Jesus card came in. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune, which means, again, the cycle of the wheel is turning, good fortune. You've had to work through some old stuff, probably in past life, right? Like past life stuff that's coming up now. But this lifetime where the wheel is spinning for good things and good energies. And so to really trust in that process, but to know that there's been a lot there for you in past lives, right? You guys have sort of like come together and broken apart in many lives, worked on sacred contracts to bring that together, to come here and to heal. And I feel very, very positive about this connection. But yes, there's bigger stuff. So I don't want to say soulmate as like, oh my God, soulmate, like we're just coming together in love. You're actually coming together at a huge soul connection to do some deep and major healing. And it sounds like if things are going well, you've already done a lot of that, which feels really exciting and wonderful. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. And beautiful. Okay, so next question. Let me just go back. I'm just trying to see. So Nettie was next. And Nettie, if you can put what you're reading, what you'd like it to be, and then wait, let me make sure. Get so confused here. So Damini, where were you? Okay, I'm gonna do Damini really quick, Nettie, just as you write your question. And then we are gonna go to Nettie and then Dipshika, if Dipshika is still here. So Damini, will your boss, Sherry, allow you to work at Pizza Hut part-time again? There were some issues and you have been off work. Okay, beautiful. Yes, my pleasure. Okay. And then Nettie, if you want to ask your question. Okay, I'm going to just work with the rider weight for you, Damini, today. Where are you coming from? Where are you at? Okay, and what does Damini need to do about work, especially with her old job? All right. You know, it's funny. Okay. I love how we have some strong and powerful women here. Hold on one second. Okay. So no, I don't want to say no, but like, no. I know you guys come so late. Like I noticed the time difference, and like all of you, I go to bed at like, well, I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock. So I'm amazed at you beautiful beings staying up so late. So I don't want to say no, but no, you're going to get a better job. That's what I thought when I was just hearing you. You're going to get a better job. But I got death. It's time to let this job go. It's time to like let it go. It's not worth it. It's not worth sort of even her energy is not worth it and not worth the coming into and being through in that way. There's something about the Queen of Wands and holding your power here and being strong in yourself and trusting in yourself. It's almost as if going back, it's going to make you self-sacrifice, and in letting it go, it's going to allow you to come into greater connection and power within yourself. And it's scary because you're like, but what do I do? Like, what happens? We've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You don't really know what you're going to do or what the next opportunity is going to be for you. And yet then we have the Page of Pentacles. Something will come, and it'll come pretty soon, but there's something about letting it go and letting that job going and knowing there will be an invitation or an opportunity that comes for you. Pages are usually opportunities or messages from something else. In Pentacles is job, it's work, it's prosperity, it's practical things. And at the same time, there is a needing to let go. So she might offer it back to you, but my sense is it's time to let it go and to trust that something better is going to come for you. Okay. Great. And now you can go to sleep. Lovely to have you here. So Nettie, if you're here, if you could let me know your question. Otherwise, I'm going to go on now to Dipshika. And Dipshika, let's see. What was your question, Dipshika? What is coming towards you? Okay. And if you're new here, if you're just joining in, okay, perfect. Nettie's here. So Nettie, I'll do you first. What a love reading, like a reading about love. So what do we need to know? Okay, let me take a moment and settle. Feel free to like my page if you haven't already. And I'm just gonna, hey, what does Nettie need to know about love? Hey. Some movement coming for you soon. So I want to say, Nettie, whenever I tune into your energy, okay, yeah, there's love coming. I'm glad I pulled those extra 2 cards for even more therapy. Whenever I tune into your energy, Nettie, it just feels really clear, and there's a lot of a grace around you. And so the first card, so I'm like, yeah, I feel love there. Like I feel a lot of potential there for you. And I feel like there's a grounding or some sort of shifting happening in your body, in your field, and that is allowing you to settle. So yeah, there is a powerful new beginning possible for you. There is a shift. Ace of Swords is like a cutting through spirit. It's like opening energy, it's opening flow, and it's getting that energy in and getting it going. And so new beginning, and you might have already met the person. If there's someone you have in mind and you're like, oh, that's him, very clearly could be him. They could already be in the picture. Otherwise, they're coming in very, very soon. Okay. We've got the ace or 8 of swords in reverse. So movement from the blindfoldness, there is going to be clarity and there is going to be action soon, and you're going to be aware and you're going to know it's happening. Then we pulled the strength card. And so for you, it's really just about being open-hearted, being in a space of connection, being in a space of like readiness and love and what wants to come flow through and flow for you. And in that, knowing that all and everything will happen and all and everything will come into being. And I don't know why my camera is so fuzzy today. So this is the only card that I don't want to say doesn't make sense. It's the 6 of Cups in reverse. Some challenge in a sense, like there might be some challenge as it's first spoken. There might be a sense of, can I trust this? I think this person has a big energy. They're a strong energy, and there's a strong energy field. 6 of energy in reverse. So it might not feel so gentle. It might feel jarring, or there might even be just sort of a misunderstanding of like, I don't think it's like, can I trust this thing? But it's like, whoa, like this is a big energy. This is a strong energy. And like, it's also knocking me off my feet, but it's also like, let me just pause for a moment. It's like going to push you beyond the bounds of what you've known before. It's going to break patterns, and it's going to allow things to open up for you in different ways, which is not going to be comfortable on some level and also be very powerful. And then we have the Lovers card. And so strong love, strong connection, strong movement, and strong flow. So very, very, very powerful. And it's happening. So yeah, I'm excited for you. Really cool. Okay. So I'm just going to go through and see who we have next. I still have to do Soulful. I'll do her at the end, as I think she's going to be listening to the recording. And then as well, I have Amanda, who I'll do at the end because I know she's listening to the recording. So we have got, we've got Mila. I can't remember your true name, Mila. And so we've got Mila, Good Life. Let me know if you guys are still Good Life, and Marielle. And James, hi, it's good to have you. You know what? I'll take you as my last question for the day. So I have 3 people before you. If you're hanging around, let me know. And my pleasure to share with you, Nettie. Very, very powerful. So Marielle is here. And so Mila, are you here? And Good Life, are you here? I am going to, okay, perfect. So Mila, I'm surprised that Michelle has not been in contact. I'm trying to remember what the reading was around that, but let's check in. Okay. Yes, hi Elena, so good to see you. And James, if you don't mind, okay, Dipshika, did I do? Yeah, Dipshika's next. I'm sorry, I totally forgot you, Dipshika. I didn't, but I did. So James, if you could like my page, I'd love it, or anyone just joining. I'm doing 4 to 5 more questions now. Dipshika just wants to know what's coming her way. Thank you for the reminder. And then Mila or Elena will do yours next. 3 cards for Dipshika. What's coming her way? Perfect. Thank you, James. Okay. So some movement. I'm seeing lots of movement for people today. It's so funny how collectively there's often a similar story. And so the movement that we have today, first of all, know that you're taken care of, Dipshika. Know that when you're in need, there will be support for you. If you're worried about finances on some level, if there's something going on where you're like, you know, am I held? Like, can I really do this? Know that that support and that energy will be there. It's the 6 of Pentacles. Also know that if you're like, well, no, I feel great, but there's energy that I want to give towards someone else, do that. It's a good time to both receive the universal energy and the universal flow, and it's also a good time to give and to move into that space. You've been in sort of a holding pattern, and things have been feeling maybe a little bit sticky. There is going to be movement, and there is going to be shift. Fast arrows and fast flow, things moving, and it's going to shake things up a little bit. It's good, it's positive stuff, but it's going to make you feel a little bit imbalanced. Temperance is in reverse, is a sense of like, oh my God, like things are changing, things are moving. What do I do with this, right? Like, how do I move it? And so the invitation for you is going to be to do what you can to ground, but to also trust in the process. You've been waiting for this change and this energy for some time, and you need it. Your soul and your being needs it. And so allow yourself to ride the flow. Know that it's normal to feel a little bit uncomfortable and unsettled. I don't think it's going to be anything major like, you know, big financial problems or losing your job or, you know, or like having to make a move, but it's like, here's where you need to go. Here's where your growing edge is. Here's where your growth point is. And know that now it's time to shake things up a little bit for you. You are held, you are cared for, but let's shake things up a little bit for you so that you can truly move on to the next thing. And so you'll so enjoy the slowness right now. Enjoy when you're like, oh, I'm so bored. Know that's going to be changing for you soon. Okay. And then great, Marielle is still here. So we'll work with her after Elena. And then the only other one that was before James, other than Marielle, was Good Life. Good Life, let me know if you're here. Otherwise, we're going to just move ahead. And so we've got Marielle. Okay, and Marielle, let me just go back and find your reading here. It's lovely to have you here. Okay, just what the message, do you have a clear question, or is it just what your message is for the day? Marielle, let me know. And then I'm going to work with Elena's right now. I'm remembering your reading from last session. Okay, so you will, whoa, it's crazy. Okay, so I remember that I felt a really big energy with you, Elena, and with Michelle. And I think you even got the tower, or there was some stuff happening, right? It was going to really shift things. And so I'm wondering if Michelle is going through something right now, or if there is a change or something that they're going through. And that's why you guys haven't been talking, or that hasn't been that space, because it sort of surprised me because the energy felt so big between you guys, right? And so unless there's just a totally new person coming in to be here. Hi, Tamara, I would love to take your question, but I'm just finishing up. If you want to hang around, and if I have time, I can try and get it in, but I have 3 more questions, and then 2 people. Yeah, I probably don't have time for your question today. I'm sorry. I'm here every week at 2, okay? At 2 Central Time. Okay, so he's moving through that process. Yes, he's moving through that process, Milia. Give yourself space, right? Hi, I'm sorry, we're just finishing up for today. Let me just read the cards, Elena, and you'll see. So I'm here at 2 Central Time, so that's an hour before now. I usually read for an hour, 15 minutes, so feel free to like my page, join me next week. I would love to have you here. You can even type your question in beforehand, and that way you'll probably get to be seen even if you're a little late. So 6 of Swords, Elena, movement and shifting from energy. There's going to be movement over water. I know he doesn't live that far from you, so it's not like you're going to take a boat to get to him or anything like that. But there's something going on here now where there is a shift. He maybe is letting go of that past person. There's something that he's moving through, and it's giving you the space and the time to go through too. But then we've got the Lovers, strong energy, strong flow, strong connection. Ace of Cups, new beginnings in love. New beginnings in that space are possible. The Hermit, maybe feeling alone as you process all that. Some of that is just because of the distance. It might be a little bit of time till you meet. It's giving you a chance to do your own work and to be connected to your own work and own space. But in general, 10 of Cups, right? So give him space, give him time, and trust the process. The energy is there. I feel you. I feel you so much, Elena. I really do. The energy is there, and it's just giving it that space and that time. And one of the things that I always think about when I see the Hermit, right? It's like giving yourself that space to do your self-reflection and to do your own growth, so that when things come, because it's going to be lightning and energy, and then it's going to flow, right? As I remember from last time. And so this is a time for you to really connect in with your truth and highest self. Okay. And then we have Marielle. Just what's coming from Marielle? I'm just going to take a few moments here. And James, if you could type your question, that would be great. And Tamara, if you're still here, you know what? I'm just going to answer your question too. If you're not, we'll wait till next time. And it's my pleasure, Elena. Okay, so what is coming from Marielle? Okay. So you're in a space of uncertainty right now, Marielle, and know that there are powerful new beginnings coming for you. There are big shifts coming for you and things that are moving in the field for you. It does not feel like that. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse, which feels you're feeling a little topsy-turvy. You might be feeling a little bit stagnant and a little bit stuck energetically, and you're not really clear on what way to go. And that's going to continue for a little bit. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. There might be a couple paths or a couple areas that are wanting to flow for you or flow forth for you. But it's like not clear. There is no clarity right now. And so in it, there is this, again, sense of stagnancy, a sense of not knowing, a sense of like, what is it that I do and where is it that I go? Knight of Cups is a creative opportunity coming for you. So can be romance, very much can be romance. I do sense for you this is greater than romance, and it's not necessarily about love, although there can be love in there. But it's like a creative process and a creative energy coming towards you and a potential coming towards you. There's something that that is going to come out of the blue. It's not going to be like those Eight of Wands that we've seen and those arrows that are just flowing so quickly. It's going to be more gentle in its flow, but it's also going to have the power to change your life, right? And to give you clarity. Page of Swords is like, here it is. You've asked. This is coming. There's a message coming for you. And when that message comes, you're going to know right away. Got the 10 of Cups, a very, very clear yes. And in that very, very clear yes, it's going to be like, here I am. I know this is right for me, and I know that I need to move forward with this. So it could be, again, as I said, romance, but it could also be like just a whole, I'm seeing it as bigger than that, right? That could be part of it, but I'm seeing it as a whole shift in your life and a whole sense of like identity, right? Like there's been a sense of a loss of identity. There's been a sense of like, what am I supposed to do? Who am I? And there's a sense of coming home and of fullness. And with that, that's where, again, there's going to be another powerful beginning. I think this beginning is locked into all of this. It's not like another new thing after that. It's part of that. And it's like cutting through spirit. It's clearing the path, and it's going to show you that way forward into your like next incarnation of being in this lifetime. And with that is going to come a release of tremendous pain and trauma that you've been holding on to, and that's been able to bubble up through this rest period that you're having and through this period of stagnancy. So this period of stagnancy is allowing things to flow, allowing things to move up, number one, so that you can be ready for these new opportunities that come your way, that are going to be creative, that are going to feel like home, that are going to bring you home. But it's also allowing stuff to come up so that once that like new beginning comes and that pathway comes, it's like a shift of spirit. And in that shift of spirit, the old can fall away, including a lot of sort of the pain or the grief or even the ancestral energy, right, that you've been holding on to and carrying on. So so this will happen soon. I feel like this is like within the next like couple months, there's going to be shifts. Definitely next couple weeks is, yes, before the big wave. Exactly. Definitely next couple weeks is probably still going to feel quite stagnant, and just giving yourself that permission to be with that. Okay. So very powerful, and so wonderful to have you here, Marielle. Love to be with you always. Okay, and so our last in-person question today is James, and then I have two other people's questions here with us. Sending you so much love. So James in Florida, I love Florida, James. I'm coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. What's coming up for you? I'm going to pull first from an Ascended Masters deck just to see if there's a word or an energy that wants to flow for you today. Again, if you're joining in, feel free to like my page. Feel free to ask a question next week. What does James most need to know? Let's see. I'm sure some of the people here earlier would like this. Twin flame, so deep soul connection or an energy coming for you. This doesn't have to be romantic. Oftentimes, twin flame energy, I don't even want to use the word twin flame, I'll be honest, because I don't know if I necessarily believe in it. I do believe in huge soul connections and huge soul energies coming to light at this time. The divine feminine, masculine are wanting to be whole and wanting to be brought into a greater sense of power and awareness. And that being said, it's like, yeah, it's like connected energy. It's an awakened energy of the divine feminine or masculine, and deep connection with another. Can be very much romantic. Oftentimes this card is romantic, but it's also like a powerful connection to wake you up, to shake you into being. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious if that resonates at all for you. If that's something that's even in your awareness, or if it's like, hell, I've been married for 20 years and, you know, I'm, you know, super in love with your wife, your wife or your partner. That can also mean just an awakening of power and energy there. Okay. And so let's pull a couple cards. What's out there for James right now? What does James need to know? Okay. Unconventional energy moving your way. It's so interesting. Well, it's interesting. Okay. So something is going to come for you. It's interesting because in these cards, romance doesn't come up right away. I'm going to I'll share a little bit about it. Hi, P. I'm sorry. This is my last in-person reading for today. I'm on at 2 p.m. every Central Standard Time every Tuesday, and I'd love to take your question next week. If you like, you'll get a notification when I'm on live. But I got the Empress in reverse was the first card I picked for you, James. And so the Empress in reverse is again, oh, loss of love, right? A shifting, perhaps a not trusting of the feminine, feeling held, feeling a little bit of stagnant, feeling a little bit of stuck. Feeling like that romance isn't there or that energy isn't there. And we'll go back to that original card soon. But there is going to be a shift there for you. And so I do see perhaps potentially a being coming in. The divorce might be happening so this being can come in. And I hate again, like saying, oh, you're going to meet someone and it's just going to happen like this. But there is going to be a connection or something that's going to come in and shake you up. With the first thing that comes is the Page of Wands. So this energy, this fire connection, perhaps someone from the past or an opportunity that's going to allow you to open into more passion, more fire, more creativity. It's going to be an invitation or a message. It might be someone you know or know of. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but again, could be someone that you've already met before. It's going to be something that's fiery and something's going to stoke your intention and attention. And it's going to allow you to really come into a space of not focusing on what has passed or focusing on what is over, right? Like what has just been happening, but it's going to sort of give you new lease, and it's going to awaken you this opportunity or this message. And when, you know, again, when I see the twin flame, it's like could very well be a partner that's going to come in. I don't want to attach and say it's for sure that it could be any type of relationship or any type of person, but this energy that's coming in, and it's coming in to wake you up. Because we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is direct connection with spirit. Sometimes tarot readers will read this card as being like, how do I say, as like the rules, right? Like being like the rule maker, or there's someone that's telling you what to do. But this is not like the Emperor. This is like direct connection to spirit, direct connection to God. So there's something that is it's like, it's here to help you on your awakening, and it's here to shock you awake on some level and to bring you into space like where you're going to open your mind up and you're going to open your life up in a way that's never been done before. And then we have Ace of Swords, which I think I pulled this card for 4 people today, which is, it's so fascinating, which is like powerful new beginnings, a beginning from spirit, from soul, that's cutting things through and awakening you up. And it's double-edged. It's not easy, right? Like it's going to shake things up. It's breaking patterns. And at the same time, it's cutting through matter. And it's saying, here's where you need to go. Trust in this path. Move forward. And I see this happening quite soon for you. Maybe not all of it, but some of it, right? Like you're going to get the message within the next month or 6 weeks, right? It's timely, right? And so know that everything's happening for a reason. It always does, but it really is. And it's bringing you into a greater space of connection and awakening, right? And there will be something or someone or some energy that's going to come and stir things up. So good luck. So I have 2 more questions that I'm going to be doing for people who sent their sessions in. The first one is Soulful, who was all the way at the beginning, but she wasn't here live. I'm sorry, Soulful, you had to wait for the whole message. I'll put a little note on there for you. And Soulful wants to know Maddie's feelings and thoughts about her. Okay. And if you guys are just watching and you're curious, feel free to like my page. Feel free to join me next week at 2 p.m. Central Time. Usually read for about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. And lovely Soulful helped me so much. It's my pleasure, James. Lovely to meet you. Okay. What does Soulful need to know about Maddie's feelings? Beautiful. Soulful, this is very funny. Quite confused is what comes to mind, or you're confused about it for sure. I don't know if he's quite so confused, but he's not so clear and he's not coming around so clear for you. We have the sun in reverse, which to me is like, you can't see, you can't tell what's going on. There's no clarity of what's going on. And there's no sense of like clear direction or clear energy. And it's like, what's going on? But like, then there's the Knight of Cups, which is like, but here I am. Like, so he comes and he's like, he wants to show up in that way. But I think it's hard for him to show up. It's hard for him to be emotional. It's hard for him to show his thoughts and his energy. So then messages get confused. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. It's like, it's confusing. And it's like, there isn't such clear messages. There isn't such clarity, right? We have the Hermit in reverse, which means that like he's used to going inward. He's not used to coming out, but he's like, I'm ready to come down off the mountain for you. I'm ready to come down. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to be here. But then the Moon in reverse, which is a lot of unclarity. So we've got the sun in reverse, the moon in reverse, the hermit in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. So what do I do with that? What comes is he likes you, he has feelings for you, and he's scared, he's unclear. He's not necessarily ready to announce it and to come out with it and to be clear with it. And yeah, and he's feeling a little bit stuck within himself. So there's bigger energy here, right? There's 3 major arcana out of 5 cards that I picked. And so with those 5 cards that I picked, it's like really giving yourself that permission to know that you have to sort of let go of control. Major arcana cards are so often out of our control. And so can you let it go and give him the space to work it out? And I think then the question comes to me, Soulful, is like, do you want to wait around, right? And do you want to? Yeah, do you want to wait around? And maybe you do, and then that's great. But hand it over to the bigger picture and give him the space and time to work with it. Okay. And my last reading is for you, Amanda. Amanda is coming to us from Kingston, Ontario. And her question is, any idea about moving? And I'm so curious what's going to come up. Be Spirit, as soon as you sent me the message, I was like, oh, well, Spirit says, don't think about it so much. Put your feet where you're at. But I'll see what the cards say. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, big stuff. Lots of major arcana cards for you. Okay, and I think it does have to do with Ram. Okay, Ram 2. So number 1, don't think about it too much. You're not supposed to know right now. It's the Fool in reverse. It's just trust. So we have the Fool in reverse. It's like the journey will happen. You're not supposed to know. And if you try to force it, if you try to get into it, you're just going to knock your head against the wall. And then we have the Chariot, which is movement through spirit. Spirit is going to take you exactly where you know. Trust in it and trust in your process and trust in the flow of it. It's bigger than you and you can't direct where you're going to go. There is going to be a clear message or a clear invitation from spirit. You will know it at the time and you have to move with it. And then we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. And it's going to have to do with Ram. It's going to have to do with perhaps his job or an opportunity. There's going to be an invitation or there's going to be something that comes through, but you can't force it. It's not about him figuring it out. It's not about him having to like apply a bunch of different places. It's like waiting for that to happen. And the universe will bring it through and will provide. So very powerful and bigger than you. Okay. So I really want to thank everyone so much for being present. I know there's just a few people watching now. I just love you all. I'm so grateful for you all to be here. I'll be here next week at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Feel free to leave comments in the comments if you're watching this or whatever you want to say. I'm curious about starting a different time, just seeing if we get a different flow of energy as well. So I might be doing this twice a week. We'll see how it goes. And sending you all so much love. Namaste. Bye.